So, I, like many people, have noticed a particular trend in the last couple years. So much so, I'd say that this trend has stopped being a trend and started to become a style. A deliberate way of designing and packaging something to appeal to a mass market. This happens to be the style in which movie trailers are edited together nowadays. Movie trailers have been around basically as long as movies themselves have, starting all the way back in 1913. There are several articles online that you can read that go in-depth about movie trailers, but I'm here to talk about the last 10-ish years or so. Movie trailers have an important job. They have to sell you on a new movie that's coming out. Some have it easier than others, as sequels have brand recognition attached to them. New original films may have to rely on a studio to get attention. A film like Zootopia might get overlooked as another generic animated kids film, but when the moment in the trailer arrives that tells you it's from Disney, then you as an audience member are probably more likely to go see it. A good or bad trailer can also make or break a film's opening weekend numbers, let alone their entire run. Great movies often have bad trailers, and Collider lists Castaway among those. An almost universally loved movie has a cheesy trailer, but only to our modern sensibilities. The style is very different from what we have today.
We live and we die by time, don't we?
Tom Hanks.
You'll never match. Any chance, will you?
At the edge of the world, the end of a man's journey will become the beginning of his life.
That brings me into the contemporary style of movie trailers. If I had to describe it in one word, it would be nostalgic. Modern movie trailers, whether they be for a new original movie or a sequel, are based around nostalgia and trying to sell you something that you probably already like. A big part of that is the music. Recognizable music will be used to stealthily trick an audience member into already liking what they're seeing. Somewhat subconsciously, they're already on board with what's being sold to them because they recognize something in the trailer. To be fair, this isn't a new concept. As far back as 1999, and probably even further, this was already a proven method. The Phantom Menace trailer used plenty of Star Wars cues in its trailer, and why not? It's trying to get you excited for the first Star Wars movie since 1983. Let's pump up that main theme! Even the Castaway trailer I referenced earlier seems to be using the score to Braveheart as an instrumental track to accompany the footage. The trailer for Transformers Revenge of the Fallen used music from the first film in its trailer, so even 10 years after Phantom Menace and Castaway, the idea was still being used. What is new about this method is the complete and utter oversaturation of the idea and an over-reliance on it. Somewhere after the mid-2000s were over, the marketing departments at the big studios decided that it was just easier to use existing soundtracks to help sell their movies instead of relying on a wholly original track for their trailer. The first one of these I can identify is from the trailer for Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. Not even 20 seconds into the trailer and the main "he's a pirate" cue is being used to carry the trailer. Now, I'm not necessarily complaining about this in this instance, since it, as a one-off, does make for a fun and exciting trailer.
I hear a rumor. Jack Sparrow's in London, hell-bent to find the Fountain of Youth.
But I guess Disney thought that the trailer helped sell the movie so well that now all their trailers pretty much follow the same formula to a degree. If a movie from their catalog is being released and it's a sequel or part of a franchise, you can bet that it uses existing cues. When you see the trend pop up time and time again, it starts to become a little predictable. The beats of the music will probably be edited to cuts to the trailer to make it extra energetic, and the tempo will be slowed down at one point to make it sound dramatic, or the music will pause for a beat entirely. Let's take a look at Avengers.
The entire time I knew him, he only ever had one goal. To wipe out half the universe. If he gets all the Infinity Stones, he can do it with the snap of his fingers. Just like that.
As we can see, it hits all the beats I listed. What about Star Wars?
There are stories about what happened. But now it's awake. And I need help.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir.
Between the three trailers for the new trilogy, they covered most of the original trilogy themes. What about their slew of live-action remakes? Well, those are interesting ones, as they typically use orchestral epic versions of cues from the animated and probably superior film they're based on. All of them have done it, but let's take a look at the trailer for Mulan since it was supposed to be out by this time. To help sell the epic action style of this remake, an over-the-top rendition of Reflection from the original film is used.
Ancestors, please protect her.
What is your name, soldier?
Hua Jun, Commander, son of Hua Zhou.
We're going to make men out of every single one of you.
Somehow I cannot hide who I am, though I've tried. When will my reflection show who I am inside?
The YouTuber named Sideways has a half-hour-long video that goes into the Disney remakes and why they don't use music well, especially in the Mulan trailer, and I'd recommend it. It's a good watch. So Disney has been using this method of advertising its movies for closing on 10 years now, and since they're the reigning champion of the box office in this modern age, of course other companies are going to try and copy this. Sometimes with less than stellar results. Universal used the score to Jurassic Park to good effect to advertise the newer Jurassic World films, but it doesn't take a genius to use the musical genius of John Williams to good effect. The bigger problem is when the other studios don't have IP with well-known soundtracks and so have to resort to using generic popular music from the past. Take this year's Dolittle reboot, for example.
Watch them grow, learn much more than
It's okay to be scared.
know.
It checks all the boxes for how the nostalgic wave of movie trailers are edited, but what does the song really have to do with the movie? There is a journey across the world in the film, judging by the trailer. That means the music is tangentially related at best. Any movie about a journey across the world, you could probably put a cover of What a Wonderful World over it, and it'd work just as well.
Watch them grow, learn much more than
It's okay to be scared.
know. And I think to myself,
See, this has been happening a lot in trailers recently. Jumanji did it.
We gotta go! Get on my back!
Even video games do it. So as we can see, this is a contemporary design style that's been around for a while, so next time you watch a movie trailer for a big movie, maybe see if you can predict the beats that are coming. And that's not to say that the old way of doing trailers has gone away, it hasn't, but this new one is far more prevalent. And that's why it is a contemporary design style.